Hi everyone. Just wait another couple minutes for people to jump on. Hope everyone's house is still intact from last night's weather and rain. It's pretty windy. I don't know about you, but it kept me up most of the night anyway. Good morning. Okay, if you've just jumped on, just let me know that you're on here and I will get started. A few people still in bed, maybe. It was a terrible night last night. Okay, let me just. So I've been told I don't smile enough on these chats. So I'm going to make a conscious effort this morning to try and smile a lot more, okay? Apparently I have serious nadia face, which happens a lot. All right, so today we're going to talk about how to reduce the toxic load entering the body and how to reduce exposure to toxins just using household substances. We're going to talk about the endocrine disrupting chemicals. What is the endocrine system? How those EDCs affect our body? What's a little bit some of the research shows? And we're going to go through the dirty dozen. So some of the dirty dozen chemicals that are pretty well known now and linked to conditions, but also some that are probably less known and where we can find them in the household. I've got my potato bag here with products that I pulled from my household this morning in a bit of a rush. So I'm just going to show you how we can start to maybe make the change in certain areas of our house from highly toxic products to less toxic products. And you'll hear me say quite often, it is about reducing the toxic exposure that we are prone to. Okay, it's not about eliminating completely because that's impossible, and our body is equipped to cope with some level of toxicity. However, in today's day and age, there is more chemicals and pollution that has an impact on our body, where we can now start to make a conscious effort within our household to change some of those. Okay, so I guess the first thing we need to understand is the endocrine system. So, what is the endocrine system? Essentially, the endocrine system is a network of organs and glands that store, produce, and secrete hormones. Okay, so when we talk about the endocrine system, things like your thyroid gland, your pituitary gland, your adrenal glands, the reproductive system, the gonads, such as the testes and ovaries, our hypothalamus, our pancreas. Okay, those organs and glands all store, produce, and secrete hormones that work and integrate with other systems of the body. And when everything works harmoniously and beautifully, our body functions really well. Okay, we're in good health. We don't have any symptoms or signs or conditions. But as you can see, there are one, a lot of hormones, and two, a lot can go wrong. So that is essentially what the endocrine system does. Now, how do endocrine disrupting chemicals affect, or what are they? I guess, what are they? Is the first thing we need to understand. So endocrine disrupting chemicals are substances found in 5 areas of our daily living. So we're looking at the environment. Okay, so we're going to talk about your household environment today. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the soil we use to grow crops, foods, and that our animals also eat from, and the food that we eat. Okay, so those are the 5 main areas where you will find chemicals. Okay, and as mentioned in the post, there are more than 84,000 chemicals, commercially man-made chemicals, that have been produced, and only up to 1,000 have been tested and linked to endocrine disorders, or endocrine conditions. Okay, so even the World Health Organization, which you will find this information on their website, but they will tell you that 1.6 million people have died from exposure to chemicals, okay, and certain chemicals. But further to that, 45 million disability adjusted life years has been lost due to exposure to chemicals. So essentially what that means is 45 million years has shortened our lives. Okay, so those are the years calculated that lives have been shortened, either with premature death from exposure to chemicals, or living with some sort of illness as a result of exposure to chemicals. Okay, so it's a pretty serious health area that's very much overlooked. The information is out there, but you speak to people and we don't really pay a lot of attention to it, which is a bit of a concern, because the endocrine system and those organs that I mentioned earlier really control our neurological behaviors, our reproductive system. And we've got now research spanning over 25 years linking endocrine disrupting chemicals to certain issues and health problems. Things like male reproductive system. So commonly a low sperm count or sperm quality. A female reproductive system, usually found in the fertility area. Immune disorders, thyroid conditions, even Parkinson's syndrome, because it's a neurological condition. There has been links and research showing that that is linked to chemical sensitivity, is linked to Parkinson's syndromes, endometriosis as well. So there is quite a bit of research out there showing this link. So I guess the next thing to really understand is, how does endocrine disrupting chemicals, how do these chemicals affect our body? When they are created, so chemicals are created, and once they enter the body, there's certain ways that they can change the structure of the hormones. So one, they can mimic or imitate the hormone. Two, they can increase the production of a particular hormone. Three, they can also decrease the production of a particular hormone. Some hormones are able to turn into other hormones. Some of these chemicals compete with essential nutrients for metabolic function, okay, which is a concern as well. And then also, some of these chemicals tell our cells to die prematurely. Okay, so these are some of the effects that EDCs can have on our body. Now, in terms of regulation, the Australian regulations follow a high dosage makes a poisonous approach. So what that means, if you consume a high dose of a particular chemical, then yes, it's going to have an adverse health effect quite acutely. However, that is not always the case. Okay, if we are, and this research is showing that if we are exposed to chemicals day in and day out through those 5 living areas, a little bit at a time, over time, they are having quite sinister health repercussions on us. Okay, so talking about a little bit of the known chemicals, you might have heard of BPA. Okay, that is found in plastics, also found in cash receipts, the lining of tin foods, and things like that. A very well-known chemical now, and you'll find a lot of products, particularly plastics, that are BPA free. However, there is what's called BPF, which was a replacement for BPA-free plastics. And both BPA and BPF have been linked to low child IQ. Okay, so again, neurological and developmental stages of our life, i.e. when we are children and in our adolescent years, I guess we are, and research will tell you as well, that is when we are at our highest of sensitive to chemicals. Also, when women are pregnant as well. So our sensitivity levels to chemicals are raised. Okay, so BPA, look out for BPF. There's also BPS, and I think it's BHS. Correct me. You might have to correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but there is a couple of others as well that do the same thing. Okay, when we heat up those chemicals, as I said, found mostly in plastics, but when we heat them up, say for food, that leaches into our food, and then we consume the food, and again we are exposed to chemicals. Okay, so it's the tiniest amounts of chemicals that we are exposed to day in and day out, and it's not just that one product. So some of the other very known chemicals, and I referred to what's called the Dirty Dozen, and this is a group of scientists that have considered these 12 to be the most damaging to the endocrine system. Things like asbestos, lead, mercury, dioxin, which you will find in meats. Okay, so those are some of the most known. And there's, as I said, a whole list, which I'm happy to put up on the website for you to have a look at. But these are neurological delayed health concerns that they can cause, reproductive concerns that are being linked as well. So quite sinister, quite severe. It's about reducing the exposure. Okay, so let's talk about that. How can we reduce the exposure in our own household to some of these chemicals? Now, we're not going to be able to eliminate all of them, and to be honest, you know, in the beginning of this journey for me, I discovered that chemicals was having an impact on my body some 13, 14 years ago. So it got quite expensive to do a whole makeover of my kitchen, my bathroom, my household, and essentially every room in the house received a makeover in terms of reducing the chemical load. All right, I'm going to go through each room in the house and just some things that you can do to start reducing that. And they don't have to be expensive. They can be quite inexpensive. We don't always have to buy the top of the range. Of course, if you want to, you can. There's certainly many products out there, but let's start, I guess, with, I've got my potato bag happening. Start in the bathroom, because I think that holds, I guess, some of the most amount of chemicals known, particularly in a female bathroom. So we've got shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. Okay. No matter what we're looking for, always try and choose paraben-free, carcinogen-free, preservative-free, and preferably fragrance-free. Okay, because all of those will contain some of those dirty dozens that I mentioned earlier. You want to choose products that have essential oils in them, that are made with botanical ingredients as well. Okay, so some of the less expensive products that you can even find in Coles is there's one here called Organic Care. Okay, that's a shampoo. It's still, don't get me wrong, there's still some chemicals in them, but remember, this is about reducing the amount of exposure and the toxic load that you are placing on your body. So we are placing on our body chemicals through breathing, through food, what we eat, through shampoo, through body wash. So there's lots of different ways that we are exposed these days. So shampoo and conditioner, inexpensive, organic care. You can find that in Coles. And just remember, try and aim for paraben-free, carcinogen-free, preservative and artificial-free, and fragrance-free as well. Okay. Also with body wash, okay, we've got it's the same brand, Organic Care. Okay. There's also where is it? This is quite a popular brand, Sukin. Okay, most people will have seen Sukin. Again, another good option. So it's aluminium and paraben free here. Now I bought this as the deodorant. Okay, deodorants are really hard to find a good quality unless you want to make your own. We can talk about that in a second. Deodorants of chemical free and really good quality are actually quite expensive. There is a website you can research called, I have no affiliation to them, but they've got a huge range called Nourished Life. And you can find a whole heap of different products on that website, which you can feel free to start looking through. And again, don't be too concerned if you haven't found one that is 100% chemical free. It is about starting to reduce that toxic exposure and toxic load that is entering your body and your family's bodies. Okay, so Sukin, this is the deodorant. Actually, I reacted to this, so not a great option for me, but some people have found that this is fine. I reacted with a bit of a rash underneath my armpits with this one, so not a great option for me, but I have very sensitive skin. Then what else have I got in the bathroom? Cosmetics. Now, cosmetics is a huge area what's just been made around chemicals, really. Now, as I just mentioned, have very sensitive skin, and in fact, the foundation that I use, the lipstick that I use, it is very expensive, but that is one area of the body, one area of the products that I use that I need to spend that little bit extra on. Okay. Otherwise, I've had lipsticks where my lips swell up, my lips dry out as a result of the chemicals that they contain. Same with the foundation. So I've got products that I use. If anyone wants to know what they are, I'm more than happy to share them. Again, I have no affiliation or I'm not a distributor for them, but I can lead you in the direction of them. Just be really mindful when it does come to cosmetics. Yes, they are expensive, but also it is definitely worthwhile investing, particularly women, investing in some good cosmetics that are carcinogen free, paraben free, and again, reduced in chemicals to some degree. Okay. Toothpaste is another area. So fluoride, there's lots of research showing that the exposure to fluoride over time can cause health concerns and health conditions. You can buy herbal toothpaste now, which is what I get, something I did forget to grab this morning, from Coles, and they do have them in the toothpaste section. So again, better option, reducing that toxicity entering the body. What else is there for the bathroom? So we've covered shampoo, conditioner. There we are. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, cosmetics, very important. Same with guys, your foam, shaving creams and things like that. Really research one that is of a better quality. Okay, you might have to spend a little bit more, but it will be worth the while in the end. So then we move on to cleaning products in the house. Now, I actually don't use a lot of cleaning products in the house. We use like an Earth or a Green Choice multi-purpose. If you are familiar with essential oils, I highly recommend using your aloe veras and eucalyptus and your essential oils, or hook up with someone who knows about essential oils. But that essentially is going to become your fragrance for the household, as well as your disinfectant and your antibacterial properties that it contains will have that cleaning effect. Okay, so for the floors, we use lemon and hot water. Okay, we have floorboards in the house, so lemon and hot water is ideal. No need to use any other floor chemicals. Carpet is a bit more challenging. So carpet firstly gathers dust mites and other dust in general, and mold and things like that. So it's really hard. You really want to try and keep your carpet clean, vacuumed at all times. That is another thing with your vacuum cleaner, is the lining of the filter of your vacuum contains certain amount of chemicals within that dirty dozen that I mentioned earlier. Just trying to find that particular, where did I have it? Bear with me. Oh, PFCs, that's what it's called. So found in non-stick cookware, as well as the lining of your vacuum cleaners, as well as furniture. So furniture and any of the foam, the foam stuff that fills the cushions of your furniture, your couches and things like that. Okay, those are quite high in chemicals and fire retardants, they're called. So I guess we've moved on from cleaning products into more of the lounge room, the bedroom. Think about your carpets. Think about what you're cleaning your furniture with. Okay, again, doesn't have to be real chemical-based products. You can use a microfiber cloth, and that will pick up a lot of the dust. Essential oils, which I've mentioned earlier, or if you're not into it or you can't be bothered, that's fine. Just make a better choice when you're choosing a multi-purpose cleaner, earth products or something, again, that's paraben free, carcinogen free. Okay, again, it's just about reducing that toxic load and exposure that's in your household, which leads me on to one of the things that I really am passionate about, is when it comes to the Glen 20s and the air fresheners in the house. Okay, really try and remove those Glen 20s and air fresheners in the house. Open up the windows. Okay, if you're not home, or most of us are home these days, but if you're not home on the weekend, open up the windows, let the air come in and out of the house, and let the air recycle. Okay, because a closed household will start to gather dust, and the chemicals that are contained within that household start to float and disintegrate into the air, and that's what we are breathing. Okay, so remember, plastics that heats up, leaches chemicals, is no different to an enclosed household. So make sure we are recycling the house, fresh air coming in and out, reducing some of that toxic load with our cleaning products. And if you want to make the house smell nice, use your essential oils, even use incense. We use incense at home once a week, just to, I like to use sage, gets rid of any bad juju in the house. So sage, frankincense, whatever that might be for you. It's just another cleaner alternative way that you have control over, and how much toxicity that you are breathing in, you're exposing to your body, or that you're putting on your skin. We've got a few comments here. That's awesome. Let's have a look. I found deodorant one of the hard ones. Absolutely. I've also come to that problem. I've tried No Pong. I don't actually know that one, and a few others, and either got a rash or they didn't work. Don't know if there is an antiperspirant one too. I know there are more chemicals if it is antiperspirant. That's correct. Yes. So yeah, really hard with deodorants. There is a product. So I mentioned earlier the foundation that I use. It's called My Essence. If you jump on their website, the only problem with some of these deodorants is they're about $20 for a really small bottle. As I said, they are quite expensive, but you can find chemical free and ones that do smell nice. They're just quite pricey. So have a look at Nourish Life, have a look at My Essence. Some of the cosmetics and lipstick that I use is called Wild Nature Organics. I believe they also have a deodorant. I've not tried them, but if you do want to look into them, have a look. Steph, natural one I found effective is from Young Living. There we go. Also, alfalfa is good. However, not a big sweater. Expensive but worth it. Yep, totally agree. Baby steps. Essential oils are great. Yes, excellent. Yeah, so if you want to get into the whole essential oils, it is definitely well worth it. What else have I got here that I wanted to share with you? If anyone has any questions, just jump on and ask away. Oh, the bedroom. Okay. So, the bedroom. Well, firstly, we've covered carpet. Really important. Vacuum your carpet and yeah, try and keep it as fresh and clean as possible. The furniture in your bedroom, again, just use a really light multi-purpose disinfectant or a microcloth fiber with hot water will keep it just as clean. A little bit of essential oils and you'll be right there. Now, bit of a side note, when it comes to chemicals, I'm also going to add this as a bit of a bonus to reducing exposure and adverse health effects on the body, and that is electromagnetic radiation, because I find that in the bedroom is probably at the most highest of impact within that room. So that's going to be things like your mobile phone, TVs, iPads, anything that emits electromagnetic radiation is going to have cellular impact on your body. Okay, so it's going to oxidize some cells, which is a real problem. If you are going to have your mobile phone in the bedroom, just at least keep it a meter or two away from you to reduce the distance of that frequency and the radiation. The other thing I'm just going to touch on is if you can start turning your Wi-Fi off at night. Okay, no matter where it is, hopefully it's not in your bedroom, but start turning your Wi-Fi off at night. Hi, Donna. Salt lamps are fantastic. Yes, so salt lamps are really good to reduce the moisture in the room, okay, and reduce some of the dust and the humidity that is contained in the room, okay. Doesn't necessarily reduce the chemicals that are within the room, but it does help breathe better because it's reducing some of the humidity, some of the moisture that's built up, and some of the dust that is built up as well. Okay, so that's a bit different to the chemicals and reducing some of the toxins from chemicals. However, another really good thing that you can do is have some indoor greenage. Okay, so indoor plants are fantastic. So again, it's about inducing that recycled air, fresh oxygen coming out from the greenage is going to be very helpful as well. Last but not least, as always, we need to talk about fresh fruit and vegetables. Okay, organically grown are obviously the best in from your own garden, even better. You know what's in your soil. Yes, the soil may have been there before you were in that house. However, you've probably churned that soil over and over again. And when it comes to organically grown, unfortunately, it does take years of churning over that soil before the soil is rid of all residue of pesticides and herbicides and any other chemicals. But pesticides being one of the dirty dozen mentioned earlier is definitely something to consider. So just remember the pesticides are used to encourage crop growth and yield. We have bigger apples than what we really should. We have bigger watermelons and bigger fruits and veggies than what we really should. So make sure if you are buying from conventional places, fruit and veg from conventional places, make sure you're washing it thoroughly and try and buy in season. Another one just to touch on before I get going is water. Okay, I can't stress enough to filter your own water. Do not use just tap water. Yes, Melbourne goes through a vigorous filtration process. However, there are still residue and elements of chemicals in that water that you too can filter through. And then possibly when you start looking into more alkaline water, you can start adding the minerals that have been stripped as a result of filtration system. So those minerals, adding them back into the body. So filter your water, wash your fruit and veg, or grow your own. Think about cosmetics and care products and buying better options. Change the way you clean your household. Get rid of any Glen 20 and refresheners in the house and start using essential oils and what am I thinking? Incense. Thanks. Incense. What else we got? Yeah, I think that's a good place to start. Add some more household plants. Recycle the air every week at least. Open the windows, and you're on your way to reducing some of the toxins that you will be exposed to on a daily basis. Okay, so if you are experiencing some health problems, something to consider. It is a serious area. There's lots of research out there that you can look out for yourself on the WHO website, on the EPA website, and you'll see that it's quite a known area. So we can start taking control of that ourselves. I hope you found today's information useful and helpful. If you've got any other tips on deodorants, essential oils, any other products, but please add them to the post so that we can all see them and share them around. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you soon.